Welcome to tonight's video. So we're going to be digging into some of the essential mindsets required in order to consistently achieve successful fat loss. Now, I'm sure many of you know, if the goal is weight loss or if it's trying to improve our health in some way, because many of us are very good at putting ourselves at the bottom of our to-do list, mindset becomes a very big factor. Like in reality, it should just be a case of we naturally know how to look after each other and we naturally have a tendency to do so. But because we tend to be pretty well educated, indoctrinated, conditioned into leaving ourselves until last and focusing on everyone and everything else outside of us, quite often we can end up stuck in this place where we know we need to do certain things in order to get back in shape and burn off the body fat and build muscle and get lean, get healthy, whatever the goal might be. We know there are certain things that we need to do, but we struggle to do it. Now, over my years doing this and working with people, there are lots of different mindset shifts that I've noticed we need, but these are 5 of the most essential, and I'm going to break them down for you tonight. So we'll try to keep the video pretty short, but just bear in mind there are five different mindsets for us to go over. So here we go, 5 key mindsets for great fat loss results. Now, I said fat loss. In reality, this is any goal that you're trying to achieve, whether it's in your body, your business, your relationships, in your spirituality, and so on. Like ultimately, it doesn't matter where the goal is, these key mindsets are going to help. But if your goal is fat loss and you are looking to lose some weight, then these are definitely going to help you. So let's get into it. So the first thing is your belief in self must align with the level of action required to reach your goal. Now, the catch that we often see is many people have this big goal. Let's say, like just for simplicity, you want to lose 30 pounds. The catch is the individual generally, because they've struggled for so many years to achieve this thing, they have this deep-rooted belief that they can't do it. Or if they can, they can't do it and keep it. So what's the point? So we often keep committing and then falling off, sabotaging ourselves, and then have to recommit. And then we quit, and then we recommit, and then we quit, and so on. And the reason for that is because there's this part of us that doesn't believe it's possible. It doesn't believe we're worthy of it. Doesn't believe that we're the sort of person that could have this particular outcome and so on. There are lots of different underlying stories, beliefs, narratives, and so on, often driven by our past experiences, which have led us to this place where our current belief in self does not align with the action required. So it's like, I know I need to lose 30 pounds. I want to lose 30 pounds. But I'm not there yet. Like, I don't believe that's possible for me. So therefore, I'm unable to take the actions required to get that outcome. So what we often have to do in this particular situation is scale it back. It's like, okay, well, I don't know at this point if I can reach 30 pounds. Could I do 5 pounds? Or could I lose 1 pound a week? Or something like we scale the goal back till it reaches the point where it does align with our belief in self. So it's like, oh, actually, I believe I can achieve that. That's not so big that it dwarfs me. Instead, I'm now greater than the goal. So therefore, I think I can achieve it. Then as we start knocking down these goals and getting success, it becomes much easier for us to build momentum on that. Because as I've said to you guys before, success breeds success. There is nothing that builds confidence and certainty in self better than actually achieving our goals and proving to ourselves that we are fucking worthy and that we are better than we thought we were. So that's number 1. That's mindset number 1. Our belief in self must align with the level of action required to reach the particular goal that we have. Now, mindset number 2 is to focus on the work required and not on the outcome desired. Now, as we were just talking, our level of self must match the level of action for the outcome, but we don't particularly want to focus purely on the outcome. This puts us in a state of fixed mindset, and then nothing is good enough, nothing is adequate to make us happy or pleased with our progress because we still haven't achieved that main outcome. The other catch with focusing on the outcome is the outcome doesn't actually produce the result. The work does. The daily action, the daily habit, behavior, or thing that we need to do consistently, that's what leads to the result. So instead, we need to focus on that. We need to focus on what are these particular steps, the day by day, often repetitive things that I need to do in order to get the outcome that I want. So that 30 pounds we were talking about a moment ago, it's like, what exactly do you need to do day by day in order to start moving towards that particular goal? So that's number 2. Mindset number 3 is be prepared to do that work even on the days when you don't feel like it. Now, the truth is you're going to have many days where you just don't feel like it. You'll be like, I cannot be fucked to do this shit. I don't want to eat well. I don't want to train. I can't be fucked to go to bed early. I'd rather sit up and binge watch my favorite show on Netflix or whatever it might be. And the truth is, that's absolutely fine. There's no real problem with that. The problem is when that becomes the default behavior. Now, that's very easy to do when we're stuck in this lifestyle that we often build for ourselves where we're not really happy, we're not content, we're not fulfilled. So we're often going around looking for moments of pleasure. And often those moments of pleasure mean that we end up sacrificing the things we know we want or need to do for ourselves. So we need to be prepared to do that work even when we don't feel like it. We need to be prepared to get off our ass, go cook the healthy food or find some way to have it prepared for us or whatever it might be, to get off our ass and do the exercise, whether that's at home with a home workout or going to a gym or going for a run or out on the bike or whatever the thing might be. There are going to be days, and possibly many of them, where you don't feel like it. The truth is, I'm a health coach. Yeah, I teach this stuff daily. I live it, breathe it. But there are still days where I wake up, even as the health coach, and I'm like, mate, I cannot be fucked today. But you have to do it anyway if you want the outcome. You don't have to do it because, if you don't, you're a naughty boy and so on. It's a case of, do I want this outcome enough that I can push through this current discomfort I have that's making me not want to do it? And then once we get good at pushing through that and we realize, actually, I didn't feel like doing it, but I actually enjoyed getting it done. So sometimes that's what we find. It's like, I don't like doing this thing, but I enjoy getting it done and out the way. I enjoy the outcome that it provides. And I like the fact that I can tick that box off on my to-do list and say, yes, I hit my training. Yes, I slept well. Yes, I made sure I ate 3 meals a day that were specific to the outcome that I wanted, and so on. So, as I say, be prepared to do that work even on the days when you don't feel like it. Now, mindset number 4 is hitting daily singles will always beat monthly home runs. Now, many of us have this thing where we try to do the all or nothing. It's like, if I can't go all in and get everything perfect, then there's no point, which of course is absolute bullshit, but that's something we convince ourselves. It's like, if it can't be perfect, there's no point, so I'm not going to bother. And often that's because of our own, again, beliefs in self and so on. It's like we're trying to prove to ourselves that we're good enough and that we're worthy. So it needs to be perfect in order to justify that stance or to prove to me that I am good enough. But again, it becomes very difficult to maintain that. And I am still yet to come across anybody that can actually maintain and stick to that all or nothing approach. Even those that manage to do well and get good results end up burning out and essentially burning everything to the ground, losing their results and all the rest of it. So what we need to learn how to do is commit to the simple shit, the simple things, the simple daily action. Go to the gym, do a workout, eat a clean, healthy meal for breakfast, eat a clean, healthy meal for lunch, eat a clean, healthy meal for dinner, get to bed on time, wake up at the same time every day. And so like, it's the things that seem boring. They don't sound as sexy as get a 6-pack in 6 minutes a day and all that kind of shit. But it's those seemingly boring, repetitive behaviors that lead to long-term results that you don't have to fight for. Now, the catch is when we go all in and then we sabotage ourselves because it was just too much to handle and we fall off the bandwagon. Well, now I need to fight and kick my ass to get back in the game. And then I sabotage myself, fall off, and then I blame, shame, guilt myself. And obviously, once again, prove to myself that I'm not good enough to maintain this result. So it's very difficult for us to prove to ourselves that we're good enough when we can't maintain the consistent habit that we keep committing to over and over again. We keep letting ourselves down and essentially end up seeing ourselves as some kind of liar, some kind of bullshit artist, because, you keep saying you're going to do this thing, but you never actually follow through on it. Because instead, what you keep doing is you keep stopping. So what we need to do is stop giving ourselves permission to stop. And that, of course, is our 5th mindset that we need to adopt. One of the things that we get very good at sometimes, because we get to this place of learned helplessness and we repeat the behavior of stopping so many times, it gets easy. It's like we commit to, on Monday, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z. But then Monday comes, Tuesday comes, and already we're like, well, I didn't do it last time, so it didn't really make any difference. Because life tends to just stay the same. It's not like because you didn't lose weight, there was some big detrimental thing that happened on Tuesday. Sooner or later, there may be a point where we reach a point of illness, disease, and so on. But unfortunately, and also fortunately, the effects of our poor lifestyle and nutrition, etc., are accumulative. They build up over time. That's why it's not like, oh, I was lean with a six-pack one day, I had one McDonald's, and the next day I woke up fat. Instead, it's that lifestyle, or your lifestyle habits, behaviors, that repetitive behavior that you express builds up over time, and your body slowly adapts into this thing. The catch is when we persist beyond the point of just being a little out of shape, eventually the body breaks down so much that we reach the point of illness and disease. And then, oh my God, and we have these big life reflections, and suddenly it becomes important. Now, without getting too deep into the psychology, it blows my mind that many of us feel like we need to wait for a crisis before we can give ourselves permission to actually keep going and stick to this thing. But in reality, it just takes you, I don't want to use the phrase, but I'm going to manning up. Like, we need to fucking man up. We need to become a man of integrity, a man of his word. So when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Because until we get to that point, we will keep stopping. We'll keep saying, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. But every time we say it, we know deep down that we're just going to stop again. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give myself permission to quit, permission to stop. Now's not the right time. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. Life's too hectic. My partner keeps nagging at me every time I go to the gym, and I haven't come home to take care of the kids. And we find all these different excuses and reasons. And that's not to say that they aren't valid, but the problem is they also aren't more important than maintaining your health. Because let's face it, if you're healthy, you're fit, you're lean, you're strong, and so on, you can show up much better for your family, your partner, your spouse, or your spouse, your kids, and so on. Like, you can show up as a much better representation of what a man is or could or should be, rather than this weak, worn out, tired, overweight, unfulfilled version of yourself that you tend to allow yourself to walk around as. So I'm not going to keep going now, people. That's it for tonight. So those are the 5 key mindsets. So I'll give you one quick run through them again. So the first one, your belief in self must be aligned with the level of action required to reach your goal. Secondly, we must focus on the work required and not on the outcome desired. Third one, be prepared to do that work even on the days when you don't feel like it. Number 4, hitting daily singles will always beat monthly home runs. And then finally, stop giving yourself permission to stop. That is it for tonight, people. As always, if you have any questions or if you want me to dig into this type of stuff deeper, let me know in the comments below. And if not, I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.